And Matt was a guy that I think, the coaching change, I'm trying to remember exactly what happened, but I think that's what happened there. But they were all guys we'd recruited all along. It wasn't something where we were targeting guys they were going after.
So John in the white jersey today, has he always been in that, or I'm just not paying attention, or has he switched over?
No, he's been in the white jersey all the time. He's ready to go if needed.
Is this something that's kind of crazy? Like when we talk about guys that were once committed to Oregon State, and here it's a majority of the tight end room, and that is
Yeah,
it's a weird coincidence, I guess.
Yeah, I think just a strange coincidence. Especially since two of those guys are really local guys. I know John graduated from over there, but his family spent most of their time in Fruitland, Ontario, Nissa. So, he kind of grew up a Bronco.
Yeah, just talking about going to college in Corvallis. I mean, what is that town like, and the atmosphere at Research Stadium and all that stuff?
Well, I think they're doing a little bit better than when I was there. So the stadium, they put a ton of money into it. They do a good job of getting the fans in there. I'm sure it'll be electric, and they'll be ready for us to roll in there and be ready to put on their best show. But it's a college town. I grew up in the Midwest, very similar to a Midwest college town.
Defensively, they got the defensive coordinator that was at Utah State last year, and obviously that game didn't go very well for you guys offensively. What do you take away from that game? I mean, do you watch that game and see kind of what he did that obviously gave you guys some problems?
Absolutely. We watched that game last spring, this summer, again this week, last week. We put a lot of stock into that. Their defensive coordinator did an excellent job against us. We didn't show up and play to our capabilities last year, and we got pounded for it. And a lot of that was because Utah State did a really good job. We're anticipating seeing a bunch of that stuff, and we've been preparing for it all along. All that said, you've also got Coach Anderson, who's been a defensive guy, who's got his own spin on things, and some other defensive staff guys that have their ideas. So trying to incorporate what Oregon State's shown to be also.
I was going to say obviously different players, but is the scheme and stuff largely the same from what Utah State ran last year?
Yeah, it looks there are definitely intricacies that are different, but the base stuff is very similar.
Even without Jake in there so far for you guys, how do you think your group has done these first two games?
I think they've played well so far. We've still got plenty of stuff we can improve on, but I've been pleased that I think those guys are playing physical. They're giving great effort. We're just looking to really clean up all the details and really be a dominant group.
How much difference will he make once he does get back in there for you?
Well, he's one of the best tight ends around, so I think he'll make a huge difference. He's I think been one of the top third down receivers in the country, all that stuff. So he's unbelievably reliable. He's smart. He kind of figures things out on the fly. If something's not exactly as we practiced it. I think those other guys are starting to get to that point. So, but a guy of his caliber, you add him into a group that's playing well. Hopefully, that makes you a ton better.
Is he getting close? And it sounds like talking to Coach Larson, he's getting pretty close.
What about Oregon State special teams on returns? What do you see in there?
They got really good speed and talent returner. Those guys can run. And, they haven't had a chance really to get on track yet, but we know how dangerous they are. We got to see them last year, and they've had several big returns for touchdowns, a couple other returns. They'll take chances. Those guys are explosive. They're dangerous. I mean, those guys can get started in a short area. They're quick. They break tackles, and they can finish.
What exactly happened with Tyler on that field goal attempt before the half? I guess when you just didn't know you guys weren't ready for him at that point, and kind of came running out really late.
No, he was at the kicking net. We knew where he was, and there was a timeout. I mean, there was that was one of those things. I think apparently that I didn't see it, but somebody made a big deal out of it. But we knew he was at the kicking net just because it was back-to-back timeouts and all that stuff, and so he.
Because the play clock was going down pretty low before you ran out there, and I think did you guys call one after that? Or?
Yeah, we knew.
You knew you were going to call one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
How's he been? I mean, you talked so much about wanting to be perfect this year and stuff, and then you missed the first one right out of the gate. How's he kind of been the last couple of weeks?
He's been better. Yeah, I mean, he's making the most of his opportunities, and sometimes I I think one of the worst kicks I've ever seen was his first kick last year, and he had a pretty good year. So, yeah, he's working at it, and you know, we just talk about you got to be perfect, because that's really, you know, it's not like you're the running back and you get 3 carries in a row. You get one shot, and that's what everybody sees, and that's what everybody knows happened. And you get one shot, and after that shot, it's either good or it's not. You're back on the sideline. So you got to make the most of every opportunity, and you know, so far so good.
How does it
Other
work?
than the one kick.
How has it worked on your side of the ball? You got 2 offensive coordinators with Huff and Hill and Hars calling the plays. How has that kind of worked, you know, for you guys? And you're able to kind of hit the ground running, or has there been any hiccups at all?
No, I think it's been really good. I mean, we worked together all spring, all summer, and through fall camp. And I think Coach Harson's doing an awesome job calling the plays. And you know, I think he's getting good information from the other guys during the game to assist in that stuff. I think the game planning's gone smooth. You know, it's good because you got a lot of different guys that can offer value and ideas, and we come away with what we feel like is going into the game, you know, the best stuff we can come up with. And, hey, it's always easy to say, well, we should have done this, should have done that afterwards, but you know, you only got the information you got going into each game, and so sometimes teams do some different stuff, but you know, I think it's worked really good. We're working really well together and exchanging great information and ideas, and I expect it to continue to go great the rest of the year, and hopefully you'll even see, you know, big leaps and bounds as we go forward.
You said when he was at Arkansas State that, you know, he put too much on his plate a bit and didn't maybe rely on the other guys to help out a bit. Have you noticed maybe him being able to do a little bit better in that aspect, and it's been smoother for you guys through him talking to, you know? I don't know if you've even noticed that.
Yeah, I haven't noticed. He's, I mean, everything we need him at and being involved in and working on, he's 100% in. So, you know, maybe some guys are, I don't know, doing more than at Arkansas State. I don't know. Not that I noticed, but what I noticed is that Coach Harsin is all in on everything we ask him to do. He knows what the defense is into. He's at every special teams meeting. He knows what we're doing. And obviously knows every part of what the offense is doing. But you know, I think that's part of the reason our staff works so well together is everybody tries to excel in their role and be the best that they can be in that role, and take the responsibility given to them and run with it, and be accountable for it. And I think Coach Harsin does a good job of giving you that freedom to work with that, and then, you know, guys are providing results, and hopefully it's a good product on the field. So far, been pretty good there.
I know you touched on the return game, but you look at Victor Bolden in particular. Apples was talking about him, says that he really pops. That was the word that he used in terms of his speed. So I mean, what does he specifically kind of bring in the return game as well, in addition to being a receiver?
Explosiveness. He's a big play guy. So anytime you got a ball in that guy's hands, it's scary because he can roll. And he can break tackles, he can make guys miss in the open field, and he is a dangerous player. And it doesn't take much to get him going. So, you know, that's our challenge, is not to give him any room to get started.